April 30th, 1943, 1:30 a.m., off the coast of Spain, a British submarine surfaces in the dark. The crew pulls a body from a metal canister. They check the uniform, the briefcase chained to his wrist, the documents in his pockets. Then they push him into the Mediterranean and sail away. His name is Major William Martin, Royal Marines, except he's not. He's a homeless man who died in London 2 months ago, and the documents in his briefcase are lies. But within 3 weeks, Adolf Hitler will believe every word, and he'll move an entire army to the wrong place. This is Operation Mincemeat, the most macabre, brilliant con job in military history. Spring 1943. The Allies have won North Africa. The next target is obvious: invade Europe through its soft underbelly. And the most obvious stepping stone is Sicily. So obvious, in fact, that the Germans know it's coming. Intelligence reports confirm German troops are already reinforcing the island. If the Allies invade a heavily defended Sicily, casualties will be catastrophic. British intelligence needs to convince the Germans the invasion is going somewhere else. Anywhere else. Enter Lieutenant Commander Ewan Montague of British Naval Intelligence. His job: dream up deceptions so clever the enemy can't see through them. And he's about to propose the most audacious plan of the war. The idea: find a dead body, dress it as a British officer, give it fake invasion plans for Greece and Sardinia, plant it where the Germans will find it, and make it so convincing they'll never question it. The room went silent. Someone finally said, "That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It might just work." The first problem: find a body that could pass as a drowning victim. It needed to be male, the right age, and have no obvious signs of how he actually died. After quiet inquiries, they found Glinder Michael, a homeless man, 34 years old, who died from eating rat poison. The coroner confirmed the body would pass as drowning if it spent time in the water. His family had no one to claim him. Montague got permission, though exactly what was said remains classified. Glinder Michael would get a military funeral, a gravestone, and posthumously serve his country. Just not under his own name. Now came the genius part. They didn't just create documents, they created an entire person. Major William Martin's wallet contained theater ticket stubs from April 22nd, a receipt for an engagement ring, an overdraft notice from Lloyd's Bank, a photograph of his fiancée, Pam, and love letters from her. The letters were written by a secretary in the intelligence office. She created Pam as a real person, affectionate but slightly annoyed that William was late sending wedding details. One letter mentioned his father was being difficult about the ceremony. Every detail painted a picture of a man in love, slightly disorganized, trying to plan a wedding while serving in the war. And then the payload. A letter from Lieutenant General Archibald Nye to General Harold Alexander, discussing the upcoming invasion of Greece and Sardinia. It included casual references to Sicily as a deception target to fool the Germans. The letter was perfect. Official tone, inside jokes between senior officers, just enough detail to be convincing. The briefcase was chained to his wrist, standard procedure for couriers carrying classified documents. Everything had to look routine. April 19th, 1943. The body, packed in dry ice inside a metal canister labeled optical instruments, was loaded onto the submarine HMS Seraph. The submarine sailed to the coast of Huelva, Spain. Why Spain? Officially neutral, but known to have German intelligence agents. April 30th, 1:30 a.m. They inflated his life jacket, double-checked everything, and placed him in the water. The submarine dove and disappeared. All they could do now was wait and hope. Hours later, Spanish fishermen found the body. Local authorities recovered it. And exactly as planned, word reached German intelligence in Spain. The Spanish opened the briefcase, photographed everything, then pretended they hadn't. They returned it to the British vice consul, who sent urgent coded messages to London. Documents appear untouched. But British intelligence knew better. Microscopic markers on the envelopes proved the Germans had opened, photographed, and resealed them. The documents reached Admiral Wilhelm Canaris, head of German military intelligence. His analysts examined them, checked for forgery signs, and found none. The documents were rushed to Berlin. Hitler believed it completely. He ordered defenses reinforced in Greece and Sardinia. Entire divisions were moved away from Sicily. The 1st Panzer Division was sent to Greece. And British codebreakers at Bletchley Park intercepted the German messages confirming it worked. Montagu received a message. Mincemeat swallowed whole. July 10, 1943. The Allies invaded Sicily. German defenses were weaker than expected. The invasion succeeded ahead of schedule. Casualties were significantly lower than anticipated. One intelligence analyst estimated Operation Mincemeat saved tens of thousands of Allied lives. But before we celebrate too much, 2 uncomfortable truths. First, Glyndwr Michael was a real person, homeless, struggling. He died alone, from rat poison. His body was used for military purposes without his consent because he had no one to object. The British government kept his identity secret until 1996. His grave says William Martin with a stone, added later acknowledging Glyndwr Michael. There's debate about whether this was ethical even in wartime. Second, Operation Mincemeat wasn't working alone. The Allies ran dozens of deception operations, fake radio traffic, dummy invasion forces, double agents feeding false information. Mincemeat worked so well partly because other operations confirmed it. The Germans were receiving intelligence from multiple sources, all pointing to Greece. Mincemeat was brilliant, but it was one piece of a larger puzzle. That said, it was the most audacious piece. So why does a dead body from 1943 matter today? Because Operation Mincemeat established principles that intelligence agencies still use. The key wasn't just creating false information. It was creating a convincing story with supporting details. The theater tickets, the overdraft notice, the annoyed fiancé. Those details made Major Martin real. The invasion plans alone wouldn't have worked. But invasion plans found on a real person with a real life? That was convincing. Today we call it adding texture to the lie. And it's everywhere. Fabricated social media histories, deep fakes with convincing background details, disinformation campaigns that build elaborate false narratives. The difference is intent. Montagu used deception to save lives in a war against fascism. Modern deception is often used to undermine democracy, spread chaos, or profit from confusion. Same techniques, very different purposes. In 1943, a homeless man who died alone in London became a major in the Royal Marines, got engaged to a woman named Pam, carried invasion plans across the Mediterranean, and helped win World War II. His name was Glyndwr Michael. History called him William Martin, and his deception saved thousands of lives. Here's my question. Is using a corpse for military deception ethical if it saves thousands of lives? There's no easy answer. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more on this story, the 2021 film Operation Mincemeat is surprisingly accurate. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching.